Hello, Andreas.
Hello.
I'm so happy that you that I can
Finally,
actually.
finally we could do it, and that's great.
Yes. You have no idea how big fan I am of yours because I have cured my son and my father and my mother and my relatives and everybody with this
That's
chlorine
great.
dioxide. So that's pretty amazing thing. Please introduce yourself. What is your background and your field of expertise?
Well, actually, I'm a biophysicist. I'm here in Switzerland, working in Switzerland in research, and my specialty is on frequencies and how to get energy, so the energy in the body. So we all are, let's say, beings where our cells communicate, and our cell communication, that's a frequency, obviously, and for to have a good frequency and a good communication, you need energy. And so the last 10 years, I've been researching not only on the biophysics of that and on the biochemics of chlorine dioxide as well. Well, it's basically, for example, you have to imagine it is if we are a body, and what is illness? Illness is a lack of energy. So if you don't have energy, we have to create our energy, and that's a burning process or oxidation. So we eat our food, and this food is oxidated by different process. And so once we have ingested our food or whatever, we have to burn it. We need oxygen. It's like when we make a fire. Without oxygen, there's no fire. And the oxidizers, like chlorine dioxide, are able to put oxygen into the process. So what I found out that this substance is able to carry oxygen combined with a chlorine ion. That's basically table salt.
Yeah, but can you explain the mechanism a little bit more thoroughly? How it works on so many conditions and illnesses and can cure so many diseases. Where's the magic in it?
Yeah, that is a good thing because basically it is well, imagine you have your phone and your phone is without a battery, it doesn't work. So the huge amount of diseases we can explain because 90 or more than all the diseases are based on lack of oxygen in the microcirculation or whatever, for it doesn't matter if it's bacteria, virus, or any other kind of blockage. So if the blood does not come to the organ is deprived of blood, and as it has no blood, it has no oxygen. This is why we have so much diseases, of chronic diseases especially. So it is a question of not correct energy supply for the body. And the energy supply for the body, how can you increase it? Chlorine dioxide might be a correct way to port this oxygen into the body because it decays to table salt. It's this chlorine dioxide is ClO2. That's a chlorine ion, and it decays. So basically, it's a very simple substance. When we speak about oxygen, we cannot inhale oxygen as bubbles, in the blood. So if it would work, we could just inject as bubbles. It's not possible. What we need in our blood is molecular oxygen in a very, very tiny form, so that the organs can absorb it. And we do it usually in the lungs. In the lungs, we have approximately, when we inhale, we have 100 torr of oxygen pressure, partial pressure. And this goes down to 40 in the bloodstream. But the mitochondria, this is inside the cells, the mitochondria, I have to explain, the mitochondria is like the power generator of our cells, inside the cells, like a cell inside a cell, a little, and this only gets us 0.2. But he's the only one who uses oxygen. So oxygen is only needed in our body to supply to the mitochondria so they can burn the carbon, let's say, the carbon constructs or sugars or whatever in the right manner, in the right way. So if we say we have enough oxygen around us, it does not mean that you get enough oxygen in your blood. It's a big difference. Because there are many things that do not give the right supply. This is exactly the mistake that has been done by mainstream medicine. They think they have enough oxygen, and they actually don't.
The benefit of the oxygen is one major cause for getting well, but I know that there are other mechanisms for chlorine dioxide to heal.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah,
is
the other side effect is that it's not only you putting oxygen into it. Oxygen is let's say, the common denominator.
yeah.
The other thing is chlorine dioxide has been used for more than 100 years for disinfection because the bacteria cannot do any resistance to it because it's an electrical effect, basically. It is oxidation, you tear away electrons, and this is why the bacteria die. It's not a toxic. It's not like you're not intoxicating the bacteria and it can build up resistance against it. No, it's like fire, and you cannot get resistant to fire.
Yeah.
And it's a question of the amount that you have in any substance, and it is fantastic. It works very fast. It works very well. And what should I say? I have 3 patents on it right now, and the next patents I'm working on will be hopefully quite successful.
Okay, so it gets rid of the pathogenic bacteria and also viruses, as I understand it, also some fungus, and also heavy metals and some other harmful substances, basically because they are all acidic.
Yes, we have to understand, and acidic is a positive charge, like a proton. Everything that is a positive charge, for example, metals always have a positive charge. It's a proton. Positive means negative inside the body. So the positive charge means the protons. We don't want them at all, because they are determinants for us.
Okay, good. So it gets rid of all the organisms that cause diseases, which is already like half the way to get well. And the second is that it puts oxygen into your cell, the mitochondria, and then it can start producing electricity, the life force energy, basically.
Well, the interesting thing is what we found out actually is that it puts. It is like a parallel to the blood. It does not go into the red blood cells at all. It goes parallel to it. And while the red blood cells have a limit because of their big size, chlorine dioxide is so small. Well, I have to think about it's 124 picometers. It's not even nanometers, it's picometers. It's so small. It slips through everything, even through membranes and fascias or whatever we have in the body. So the blood-brain barrier is like a portal for it. It can just rush through or any part of our body. It's just a question of the amount. And one of the interesting things is actually the Chinese have a world patent on that they activate stem cells. They differentiate and they activate stem cells. So the Chinese have been a bit faster than us, and they got it through, even at the world patent. You can look it up if you want.
Yeah.
What does it mean? It is able to activate the cells to rebuild what is damaged, because we have many illnesses that have very high damage or chronic damage, and there's no way to get it back. But with this substance, you can do this too. It is very difficult now in a 1-hour interview to explain all what it can. I just try to make it as easy as possible. But to all the naysayers, well, if they would study a little bit, they would understand how it works.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that all the science that is out there and naysayers don't bother to look into it.
We have to understand that everything in science has been, everything new, everything paradigm has been rejected. It's normal, of course. The brothers Wright already were flying with the airplane when Lord Kelvin, the boss of the London scientists, was saying it can never be flown, flying is impossible. And he was Lord Kelvin, because I am. Yeah. This is all these mainstream bullshit. Sorry to say, but
it's true.
Science has been always changed by individuals, strange guys like me, for example, or others. Because why? What's our motivation? Our motivation is not to be somebody in a big company. Our motivation is to find out things and find out truth, and that's what it is basically.
Okay, what would you say to people who read from media that chlorine dioxide is a dangerous poison and bleach? This is what Estonian media has been saying for almost 5 years now. And this is also an official standpoint, even though, according to the police report, there has not been one single death or any victims, as police investigated it for more than 4 months. So what would you say to
years.
well, I mean, in Estonia,
there's no death, because you have to understand first, every substance is poisonous. Everyone, for example, and what is poison? Depends where, for example, can I breathe water? No, water is a lung poison. You get a very big problem with it, and hundreds of people every year die because of, thousands because of lung in the water. Hundreds because they're in swimming, and the other thousands in the hospitals because they get a lung problem and the lung fills up with water. The other thing is, can I drink it? So we have to say the official, well, I'm not confirmed with, the official value is 398 milligram per kilo. Wait a moment, 389 per kilo. What does it mean? That a person with 100 kilos has to take 30 grams, that's 30 grams of gas, because it's a gas. So what does it mean? And wait a moment, I think I have some here over there. So I need to drink about 10 liters of highly concentrated chlorine dioxide to kill myself. Well, let's see. It's a good idea. Well, here I have a chlorine dioxide. Okay, you can see because of the yellow color.
Yeah.
And for the people that don't believe anything, here's a test stripe. Oh, test stripe. You can see that?
Yeah.
Test stripe. It's not pH. It's especially for chlorine dioxide.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what it is. So if it's so unbelievable dangerous, we can make a very simple thing, because you've luck. You got me today in the lab here working. So we first try here, because actually this is something, and this test stripe makes a color. Okay. Okay. Let's see. This color corresponds to
deadly poison.
Well, let's say this color corresponds to about 100 ppm, okay?
Yeah.
That's 100 ppm. And now I can do a very dangerous thing and suicide myself. Cheers.
The last minutes of famous scientist.
Well, I tried to suicide myself, but no way. Well, I'll try it again.
Several people have tried it before you too, and with no
there's
results.
two things Einstein said they're infinite.
Stupidity?
The universe and the stupidity of humans, but the universe he wasn't sure about. Actually, we have given rats 54 rats. It was more than 400 milligram a daily base, and none of them died. And that's this huge dose. This is the human equivalence dose. And this is something over a human equivalent time of 4 years. Well, poisonous is a question of relativity, because 30 grams of a gas, I have to drink 10 liters of this liquid, and not this one. The highly concentrated, 3,000 ppm, because 3,000 ppm is 3 grams. Okay. Yeah. 3,000 ppm is 3 grams, so you need 30,000 ppm. You cannot produce it even. Yeah. It would explode the lab. No way. Yeah. And so I don't know where's the point here.
Exactly, yeah. And our health department is continuously
they have to really
warning people that stay away from that poison and report. And I'm like, hey, do you even know what you're talking about? We are taking like 3 drops as a dose. Regular dose is 3 drops of what's the concentrate? If you put 3 drops in 1 glass of water, how many ppms?
This is about 50.
Yeah, so What are they talking about? Oh, are they
Oh,
consciously lying?
ignorance.
Are they consciously lying to us, or are they ignorant? Is my question.
It's ignorance. What for me is very important is to find out the truth. You know, for example, if you say it's bleach, okay, that's true too, because you need 175 grams, that's per liter. This is what used in the industry. So the amount has nothing to do with what we do, because we are in milligrams here. You know, we are on 25 milligrams and not 175 grams. This is one of the things. And if you say bleach, please don't say bleach. The chlorine bleach is a different substance. That says NaClO without a 2. You know, it's a different substance. And maybe you can confuse people to take NaClO. That's really bad and dangerous, you know. It's a different substance. It smells similar, but it's not. So it's like water. H2O is not the same like H2O2. That's hydrogen peroxide, you know. You bleach your hair with hydrogen peroxide, like Marilyn Monroe. So it's two different substances in the water and this, and we are speaking about two different substances about that too. There's a new study done in Cameroon now about malaria, where another 500 people have been cured based on a chlorine dioxide substance too. So, and it's an official one. So it will come. It's a question of time.
Yeah, that's another thing that the naysayers say, that, all right, we understand it clears the pathogens and la la la, and in small doses maybe, you know, doesn't harm you right away, but will it accumulate and harm the body in long term? Does it erode your tissues that we don't see right away? That's one thing that I've been reading from media.
Okay. So first of all, to erode something, you need to have a different pH. But the point is that CDS has a neutral pH. You cannot corrode with a neutral pH. It's very difficult, because to corrode, as a substance, as the name said, you need or a negative or a positive pH. No way.
And does it accumulate in the body?
What accumulates is oxygen. Does oxygen accumulate in the body? It's my question to you.
No, I know the answer,
Yeah,
but
it would
I
be
just
great, because we could dive then forever. But well, no, you know, seafarers accumulate. There's no accumulation of oxygen in the body, and the remaining salt is so low that is less than milligram. It's not even a crumb of salt. Our body fluid is completely made out of salt. So what should accumulate, please?
Last question is that people have difficult to understand is, if it is such a wonderful substance, then why don't doctors use it?
Well, actually, doctors use it. I have to say, for example, it's if you go in Hungary, you have Solumium, it's called, and it is even gets a premium from Sweden as one of the best innovative products. So the first licensed medical product is in Hungary, and we have another one too. Now we have the license. It's not in production yet. It's CDSAN. So it's a question of time, you know, because usually from the first moment you want to make a medicine till the last, it's 10 years. You know? So doctors in Hungary can use it, and doctors outside from Hungary that are in the European Union can ask for it. It's possible. Yes, they can. So it is a question of time.
And there are clinics, one in Russia, a Biocenter is a name, where doctors also use chlorine dioxide. And I know that there is. Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. I would love to have contact.
I will send you.
Actually, yes, I would love to have contact to universities, because we have so much data, we cannot use it all, and because it's 10 years of data, and I would love to have contact to universities who are interested in collaborating, and it's not a problem. You can give them my number anytime you want. When this stuff will come out, I know from others that are quite a few laboratories already now trying to keep up, because they now realize that something's going on, and more are coming, and it's a question of time.
Yeah. Look, this is priceless information that you shared, and I know there's so much more, but some other time. And also we can Estonian people can get all the knowledge from this one.
I want to thank you very much if you translate it into your language, because this is something that makes me very happy.
May the force be with you.
And the CDS too.
Yeah.